There's a well-advertised bonhomie between Modi and Trump, which I understand, but I think international relationships are much more complex than, getting along with each other. Let's just take two issues that, first, all of Indian goods will probably face a tariff barrier. I think Trump has already signaled that during his election campaign, that India is taking advantage of the lax US laws and sending stuff to America, and he'll impose tariffs. So that is not good news for India. Secondly, we'll curb immigration. A lot of Indian technology depends on legal immigration to America, which may stop over a period of time. And the thing you have to remember is that now Trump is going to be a lame duck president. He doesn't have to go back for an election ever again. But he's also an unchecked power right now, because everyone, after this extraordinary comeback, everyone will bow to his wishes, including a Republican Congress. So he could say, for example, if India doesn't support me in Afghanistan or India doesn't support me elsewhere, I will do so and so to India, and there will be no pushback from Congress. You recall in the 1950s and 1960s, when India was the head of the non-aligned movement, did not align itself with America, but American aid in PL 418 other terms continued on in India. That did not stop American aid coming to India. So this is a whole new ballgame. I think, the victory, and such a sweeping victory, has been such a shock to the economic system that it will take us a while to absorb it. But I think the honeymoon perhaps will be good for the next few days, but after that we need a hard, realistic check as to what the world and what India will look like in its place in the world over the next few weeks. I think what will happen is that if you support Trump's policies, and sometimes in foreign policy, India and America have very different goals, but if you follow the policy, Trump will be a friend of yours. But if you try and steer independent policy, you may find a vicious backlash. I think what would benefit, of course, at least in the first few years, is what we call the China Plus One policy. I think this will encourage US manufacturers to seek sourcing, supply chain, manufacturing bases in India. So in that limited sense, it will help India. But I'm not sure how increasing tariffs or lowering the pie for the global trade or lowering immigration would help the world. I'm not sure about that yet. And I think, clearly, if Ukraine is given up, or if Trump does not want to support Taiwan, if China annexes it, I think that will be bad consequences of the world. I think the institutions that we relied on in the world, the IMF, the NATO, will all be under threat under a Trump presidency. So while we enjoy the honeymoon right now, I would be a bit more circumspect as I study the policies that a new Trump administration might follow. If it is not cut, if the Fed decides to cut it, I think they will fire the Fed chief and replace him with the new Fed chief. That is Trump's knee-jerk reaction to this problem, as we've seen in the past. So I'm not sure if he would be different at this point. He's clearly a votary of a cheaper dollar and lower interest rates happening. But unfortunately, they collide sometimes with the budget deficit, which in my opinion is now getting to be unsustainable levels. It's more than GDP for the first time in American history. Now, he's often said that he will cut defense expenditures, wasteful defense expenditure, the Department of Education, try and bring this under control. So we really don't know at this time. I think we need to kind of sit back and see what he does. But I think this unbridled honeymoon that we are witnessing today will probably be a passing phase.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV18 on all the social media platforms.